Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we shall discuss the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations, that is your first chapter in class 10 CBSE. So let's begin with the chapter. As you can see, this is the definition of chemical reactions. So chemical reactions are the process in which new substances with new properties are formed. So the chemical reactions are the process in which new substances with new properties are formed. Let's understand this with an example. As you can see, I have taken the example of magnesium. This magnesium we will take in the form of ribbon. Now what is the property of this magnesium ribbon, or the physical property? This magnesium ribbon color is grayish. The color of this magnesium ribbon is grayish or silvery gray. Now what I am doing? We are taking the magnesium ribbon and we are burning it in presence of atmospheric oxygen. So for that definitely we need heat. So we will apply heat for burning the magnesium ribbon. This heat we can apply by Bunsen burner, spirit lamp, or by any means, so that we can convert this magnesium ribbon to a new compound or a new substance called magnesium oxide. Now, what is the property of this magnesium oxide? It is white color powder. Okay. So as we have known from the definition that chemical reactions is the process in which new substances with new properties are formed. So magnesium ribbon was a solid ribbon with silvery gray color, and it is transforming to magnesium oxide, which is white powder. That is, in presence of oxygen, magnesium is forming magnesium oxide. Now see the statement that is written at the bottom, that during a chemical reaction, atoms of one element change to other. Now we have to check that this statement is correct or not. So during a chemical reaction, atoms of one element change to other. Let's see. So as we have seen in the example that this is magnesium. After reacting with oxygen, it is forming magnesium oxide. So definitely magnesium will form, or magnesium will react with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. It will never form potassium oxide. Right? It will never form potassium oxide. This is the reason that this statement is wrong. That during a chemical reaction, no element changes to other. Only rearrangement occurs. This magnesium was in the metallic form and it is forming a white color magnesium oxide powder. This magnesium will never convert to potassium oxide. That is, magnesium element will never change to any other element like potassium and all. So this was it. Now let's move to the next page. This picture is actually taken from the NCERT book only. Okay, this picture is taken from your NCERT book only. So as we can see, milk is left at room temperature during summer. We all know if we leave the milk without boiling it during summer at the room temperature, it becomes sour. It gets sour, right? So definitely here also a chemical change is occurring, that is a chemical reaction is happening. Correct. Let's see the second example. Iron tawa or pan or nail is left exposed in humid atmosphere. Humid atmosphere means in presence of water or the moisture environment. So we all know that if we leave the iron nail or any iron substance bare in the humid atmosphere, it gets rusted or gets corroded. So So this is one of the chemical change. Grapes get fermented, food is cooked, food gets digested in our body, definitely. The solid food gets break down in our body by various chemical changes. We respire, that is respiration. So this all are chemical reactions. Now, chemical change equals to chemical reaction. So what is this? Chemical change equals to chemical reaction. This means that chemical change, whenever it is occurring, we always have to remember that a chemical reaction is going on. As we have discussed in the previous slide, that when magnesium is reacting with oxygen, it is producing magnesium oxide. So definitely a chemical change is occurring, right? Similarly, any chemical change if occurs, that means we have to understand a chemical reaction has occurred. Now, the observation of chemical reactions. Change in state, as we have seen that a solid ribbon changes to the powder form. Change in color, evolution of gas, change in temperature, formation of precipitate. So all this observation we will go through one by one. So see the question, why magnesium ribbon is cleaned using sandpaper before burning. So magnesium ribbon is always rubbed with sandpaper before burning. To remove, answer is to remove the protective layer of magnesium oxide. So actually what happens, let me erase this all. So actually what happens, suppose this is the magnesium ribbon. So if we keep this in atmosphere, or if we do not cover it inside any container or by wrapping it, or if we leave it bare in atmospheric surrounding, then what happens, this ribbon actually gets oxidized. What does this oxidized means? That is, it reacts with oxygen very slowly. That is, slow reaction occurs with oxygen, and the surface of this magnesium ribbon forms magnesium oxide. Now what happens, this magnesium oxide forms a layer above the magnesium ribbon surface. At the magnesium ribbon surface, the magnesium oxide makes a protective layer. So that's why it do not, so when we do the experiment, that is when we burn the, let me take you to the next slide. See, we are burning the magnesium ribbon in presence of oxygen. So what we were doing? We were burning the magnesium ribbon in presence of oxygen. So if the magnesium oxide layer is present at the surface of magnesium metal or the ribbon, then it will not allow any more reaction of the oxygen with magnesium, because magnesium metal is present inside the layer of magnesium oxide, right? Because the surface of the magnesium, suppose this is the ribbon, so the surface of the magnesium ribbon is covered with magnesium oxide, but the inside of the magnesium metal is magnesium present. So when a magnesium oxide layer forms, it will not allow the further reaction of the magnesium metal which is inside the magnesium oxide layer. So that's why we use sandpaper to remove the magnesium oxide from the surface, so that we can carry out the reaction properly. Now let's move to the next slide. Another question, why we should keep our eyes far as possible when magnesium ribbon is burnt. So the dazzling light, that is very bright white light that is emitted while burning magnesium ribbon, is harmful for our eyes. As you can see, a very bright white light is emitted while burning magnesium ribbon. So what will this do to our eyes? As we all know, we have learnt in physics that whenever a light enters inside our eye, it directly hits our retina. So if such a bright dazzling light comes to our eye or enter our eye, it will damage our retina or the retina cells. That's why it is advised that not to see or keep our eyes far away from this reaction. Another thing we can do, that we can wear dark goggles or black colored goggles, because that will not allow the light to directly enter into our eyes. So this is the reason. Now the first observation that we will learn is evolution of gas. So as you can see, we have taken here dilute sulfuric acid. In this test tube, we are taking zinc granules. Zinc granules means what? Simply we can say zinc metal. And we are reacting it with dilute sulfuric acid. So in this test tube, we are taking zinc metal or zinc granules, and we are adding sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid. This you have learnt in class 8 also, in metals and non-metals chapter, that when metal reacts with acid, it forms hydrogen gas. It forms hydrogen gas. So what will happen when we allow this zinc metal to react with H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid? It will form hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas will come out from this test tube, and through this delivery tube, this will get into the soap solution. This hydrogen gas will come, and through this delivery tube will come to the soap solution. As we have done in our childhood, that when we take a straw and we exhale or we breathe out through that straw to a soap solution, we can see the bubbles occurring at the surface of the soap solution. Similarly, when we allow this hydrogen gas to enter into this soap solution, it will form bubbles. It will form bubbles, and we can see the bubbles are coming out from this soap solution. Now, how to test for this hydrogen gas? As we all know, this hydrogen gas in presence of fire, it burns with a popping sound. It burns with a pop sound. So when we take a candle and take this near the bubbles, it will burst with a pop sound. And inside these bubbles contain the hydrogen gas. That's why this bubble carry the hydrogen gas, and when we take the candle near to these bubbles, they burst with a pop sound. So this was it, the evolution of gas. Thanks for watching. I will definitely send the next part, or I will definitely share the next part very soon. Thanks for watching.